speakership election for the 6th time, Kevin McCarthy said he plans to hold on for now.
Do you have a deal with those guys right now?
Not yet, but a lot of progress.
A revolving door of backroom meetings and a marathon second day of votes.
A speaker has not been elected.
Couldn't break the logjam.
I'm ready to vote all night, all week, all month, and never for that person.
The group of 20 Republican defectors, which has criticized McCarthy for not being conservative enough, which has accused him of breaking promises, wasn't swayed by a request from Donald Trump that they back
my necklace and knocked me to the floor. I landed on a dog's bowl, which cracked under my back, the pieces cutting into me. I lay there for a moment, dazed, then got to my feet and told him to get out. The Guardian reporting the episode took place in 2019, as Harry and William met to talk about what Harry calls the whole rolling catastrophe of their relationship.
Hello everyone, welcome to this edition of The Take. I'm your host as always, Kendrick Dix here. Glad you can join us here on The Take on this Thursday, January 3rd. January 5th, I think. Yeah, January 5th. Yeah, 2023. Thank you all. This is the first take of the new year, and we thank you for watching. All right, join in the conversation using the hashtag Take here on Connect. And don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe is caring. Tell a friend, call a friend, hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a thing. All right, we got a lot to get to. Let's get started with the big story. The big story this week is, man, we got a short, condensed take today, but the big story is Prince William reveals shocking, stunning details about his new book, Spare. And, man, let me tell you, that book, hearing revelations about his own family, what his family thinks about his wife Meghan, and what he thinks about his theories on his mother's past death. Let's look at a brief moment on what's going on with Prince Harry and his new memoir, Spare.
This morning, a new report about Prince Harry's memoir, Spare, rocking the royal family. The Guardian, publishing an excerpt it says is from his upcoming book, detailing an alleged attack by his brother Prince William during a heated confrontation over Harry's wife Meghan. Harry reportedly writing that William called Meghan, quote, rude, difficult, and abrasive. And as the argument escalated, Harry claims William, quote, grabbed me by the collar, ripping my necklace, and knocked me to the floor. I landed on a dog's bowl, which cracked under my back, the pieces cutting into me. I lay there for a moment, dazed, then got to my feet and told him to get out. The Guardian reporting the episode took place in 2019, as Harry and William met to talk about what Harry calls the whole rolling catastrophe of their relationship and issues with the press. Now, in a new interview airing this Monday on GMA, Harry telling me about the rift between the brothers. There's a quote in this book where you refer to your brother as your beloved brother and arch nemesis. Strong words. What did you mean by that?
There has always been this competition between us, weirdly. I think it really plays into, or is played by, the heir spare.
You know, Harry says he's been referred to as the spare for much of his life, and his brother has always been referred to as the heir.
And you've had a chance to read the entire book, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, this book is a lot more about just his relationship with his brother. He covers so much. He talked about deep grief, the death of his mother, how he dealt with that, his time in the military.
Yes, Prince Harry revealing everything, saying that his brother and his sister-in-law urged him to wear that 2005 Nazi gear that caused a lot of rift and contention. Even his brother and him having their sibling squabble, even to the point that his brother barely don't like his wife, saying that she's disrespecting, she's abrasive, she's rude, all this stuff. I mean, it is, that book, I don't know if that's going to tear this family apart. It looks like it's going to do what Prince Harry revealed. And I think Prince Harry, let's just say, where do you go from here? It's going to be a lot. A lot of the British folks are going to be mad at Prince Harry. Prince Harry's going to have to take the brunt of that in this new book and stuff. Ooh. Speaking of that, in celebrity news, actor Jeremy Ryan, you know Jeremy Ryan from the Avengers movies, he's sharing a health update from the ICU after a
Literally, look at all the blood.
I was first shower. I'm definitely weak, so gross.
Okay,
Ooh. But thank God he's okay and he's recovering. So that's all that matters. All right. On Talk Shows, The View paid tribute to their own creator, Barbara Walters. Barbara Walters, who passed away at the age of 93 years old, a trailblazing newscaster who paved the way for women, and she will be missed. Let's take little highlights from what the View women had to say about their Barbara. Take a look.
Show of fascinating folks, and we found that we were. She asked me a question about, what was it like to be a mother doing it, and I said I always feel bad because an opportunity came to me, and if I had been a great mother, I would have said, okay, opportunity, you just stay there and let me raise my kid and I'll come back and find you. But I figured the opportunity was not going to wait for me. And that I made the decision to go ahead and take the career that I was being offered. And she and I bonded on that because she always felt she could have been better. I always felt I could have been better, but we were who we were. And so my relationship with her, I think you said, started with that, but it was really an audition for 20 years later to come hang out with y'all.
That's interesting. 20 years after?
Just about.
Yeah. Barbara and I had a relationship that was really very mother-daughter, very much so. I mean, she was tough on me. Yeah. But I appreciate it because I learned everything from her. She single-handedly changed my life. I was a 22-year-old journalism student at NYU when she chose me to sit next to her on this show, and she took a huge chance on me. I had hardly been on television, and she taught me everything. It was like Eliza Doolittle in My Fair Lady. Like, she didn't like my hair. She took me to her hairdresser. Let him do her hair. And she didn't like my outfit, so she had Fran Taylor dress me in sweater sets every day. She even all the interviewing skills I learned from her, and even how to do live television and how to handle myself in any social situation. She would take us to these fancy lunches and she'd say, baby, you're going to wear these shoes. This is what you're going to say. This is what you're not going to say. And I'd be like, okay. I mean, it was, I need a friend like that. It was incredible. And it was like taking a master class in journalism with the most, well-respected, well-renowned female journalist in history. It was unbelievable. And I know a lot of people owe her so much, especially us women and women in television, not just journalism, but I owe her everything. I would not have this career if she did not choose me. Yeah.
I have to tell you, Barbara's the one that introduced me to the whole Upper East Side social scene. Everybody, you think being next to her at the table of The View was amazing, but the best seat in the house in any social event was next to Barbara Walters because she could tell you everything about everybody in the room. Half the time she had either interviewed them, done a story on them, heard a story about them, and she would dish with the best of them. The girls would tell you, going to lunch with BW, baby, you would get all the information. I remember we were each other's dates because we didn't have the dates to Michael Douglas and Catherine Zeta-Jones's wedding. And so we just decided we were going to go and be fabulous together. And we ended up at a dinner one night with Prince Albert one night and had a whole conversation about the thong song. I will never forget this as long as I live. Barbara Walters and me having a conversation about the thong song. So everybody knows her as the brilliant, iconic journalist, but Barbara and Joy and Meredith and Debbie and I, we got to dish with this woman in ways that other people will never, ever appreciate it. She was the best gossiper. She had all the tea. She was really the best gossiper. She knew how to tell tales and just drive the point home. I will miss that more than anything because, girl, if you want to know something, if you wanted to know the tea, Barbara Walters had it. You know, I have to tell you.
Barbara Walters will live infamy because of her hard work and her dedication, and she will be missed. I know that for a fact. All right, we're going to continue on. This is a commercial-free take. This is really commercial-free. All right, on the political rundown this week, Kevin McCarthy is trying to become Speaker of the House, but he fails to win the speakership because his fellow Republicans, some of them are on his page and some of them are not. The ones that not want their terms and conditions, but McCarthy refused to give them their terms and conditions, and now it just went from a wrap. Let's look now on what's going on. Why Kevin McCarthy can't win the speakership? Take a look.
The historic political paralysis in Washington. The House begins a third day deadlocked over choosing a House Speaker after Republican leader Kevin McCarthy failed to secure enough support in a sixth. That's right. A sixth vote. And despite late-night negotiations, there are no signs an agreement is close among divided Republicans. Scott McFarland has been at the Capitol throughout this entire standoff, getting a close-up look, and he joins us now. Scott, good morning.
Adriana, good morning to you. Embattled House Republican leader Kevin McCarthy is frozen in a stalemate with a faction of 20 fellow House Republicans denying him the votes he needs to be Speaker. Leaving Capitol Hill Wednesday night after losing his House speakership election for the sixth time, Kevin McCarthy said he plans to hold on for now.
Do you have a deal with those guys right now? Not yet, but a lot of progress.
A revolving door of backroom meetings and a marathon second day of votes.
A speaker has not been elected.
Couldn't break the logjam.
I'm ready to vote all night, all week, all month, and never for that person.
The group of 20 Republican defectors, which has criticized McCarthy for not being conservative enough, which has accused him of breaking promises, wasn't swayed by a request from Donald Trump that they back McCarthy and not turn a great triumph into a giant and embarrassing defeat.
Even having my favorite president call us and tell us we need to knock this off, I think it actually needs to be reversed. The president needs to tell Kevin McCarthy that, sir, you do not have the votes and it's time to withdraw. With that, I yield. Thank you.
Former Speaker Nancy Pelosi blasted the dysfunction.
Thank God they weren't in the majority on January 6th. Because that was the day it had to be organized to stave off what was happening, to save our democracy.
The standoff threatens disruptions, especially to the newly elected House members that haven't been sworn in. They might have difficulty fielding questions from their constituents who might need help with Social Security checks, passports, or veterans benefits.
There could be a point at which it does mean something to the constituents that we serve, whether we can engage in casework on their behalf.
And one Wisconsin Republican says he was denied a needed security briefing.
I'm informed by House Security that technically I don't have a clearance.
Because he's not an official member of Congress until a speaker is chosen.
On this vote, the yeas are 216, the nays are 214. Accordingly, the House stands adjourned until noon tomorrow.
It was a chaotic end to the night.
Wow, Kevin McCarthy is still trying to get the speakership, and he still can't do so. I mean, this is a ongoing race. This is the first time in 100 years Kevin McCarthy can't become Speaker of the House because he can't get people on his side. And to let you know, they even voted a black guy to win the speakership from their opposition, from the same party from the opposition. I mean, it's infighting in the Republican Party, and I guess Donald Trump doesn't like that one bit. But hey, what can you do? But this is precedent, man. You can't even win your own speakership. You know folks don't like you if you can't win the Speaker of the House. All right, and finally, the viral video of the week. There are two viral videos. There is a family singing a cappella with this.
Oh, caught in a bad romance. Oh, caught in a fence. Caught in a fence.
the family singing a cappella. Nice harmonic sound to it, but you know how that be. So, hey, you know how that is and stuff. Also, too, look at this. This girl believes that she sees Steve Harvey. Well, let's see what this girl talking about right now.
The entire time he ate his breakfast.
Can I go ask him? Ask him what? Is it Steve Harvey? I don't think that's Steve Harvey, baby. And I don't think he wanted his breakfast interrupted. Would you ask him if he's Steve Harvey? He does look like him, though. Anyway, diamond earrings.
She didn't believe me, so she did her own research.
Yeah, the girl thought that man was Steve Harvey trying to interrupt his breakfast. She looked real hard. She even researched the man. Man, you know these kids know everything now these days, but you know how that be and stuff. She researched that man, thought he was Steve Harvey. He looked like he'd be Steve Harvey. He'd be his doppelganger, but he's not Steve Harvey. But you know how that be. So, hey, you know what it is. All right. Thank you for watching this edition of The Take. Happy New Year. We hope to see you. Continue on. We hope to have more news, insight, and pop culture and stuff with The Take in 2023. I've been your host, Kendrick Dick, saying so long. Thank you for watching The Take.